Welcome to a new video. In today's video we are going to talk about the Pandas functions. You may already be familiar with some basic Pandas functions like read CSV or data frame, but today we are going to explore 5 lesser known but extremely useful functions in Pandas. Firstly, let's create a small dataset to work with. Let's say import pandas as pd and import pandas. Then we are going to create our data together. Let's say name and give names here like Alice, Bob, Charlie, and David. Let's just create a data of it for rows, then say age and do like 25, 30, 35, 40. Normally I don't record the data creation part, but this time I want to try occupation, and we can do like engineer, doctor, teacher, and lawyer. Now we will say df pandas.data frame and we will pass the data inside and see the data frame here. In this dataset we just created, we have 3 columns: name, age, and occupation. The first function I want to show you is query. It's a very efficient way to filter the data based on conditions. Let's take the entries who is older than 30. So for this we will say result and we will use df.query here. Then we will say age greater than 30, just like SQL, right? Then we will say result here. As you can see, the query function allowed us to filter out all the rows where the age is greater than 30. It's incredibly straightforward and you can even use complex conditions with it. Next up is the melt function. This is a great function if you are looking to convert your data frame from a wide format to a long format. Let's say melted data frame and we will use pd.melt. Then we will say data frame and we will say name here like this, and we will say value, age, and occupation here. Here it is. And then we are going to call it for seeing it. So here we kept the name column as our identifier and melted the age and occupation columns. Now the data frame is a long format, which is sometimes easier to work with. The third function we are going to explore is crosstab. This function helps us create a simple cross tabulation of 2 or more factors. We will say crosstab and we will use pd crosstab df age and df, let's take occupation here and get the result. The crosstab function gives us a table where the rows represent ages and the columns represent occupations. It's a really useful function for initial data explorations. The next function is cut, and it's particularly useful when you want to bin your numerical data into discrete intervals. So let's say we are going to group age groups and create a column like that, age group, and we will use pandas.cut method df age and we will set the bins here. Let's say 20, 30, and 40. Then also we need a Q sign here. And then we are going to do labels. And for the labels side, let's say 20 to 30, 40 to 30 to 40. And let's take the data frame here. So here it is. I have used the cut function to create a new column called age group. The age values are now categorized into 2 bins, 20 to 30 and 30 to 40. This is a great way to handle numerical variables for some specific analysis. Lastly, we have the sample function. It's an excellent way to randomly sample items from your data frame. We will say sampled data frame and we will use df sample and we are going to set the n as 2, which means we want 2 entries, 2 rows in our sample data frame, and we can just get this like that and we are going to see 2 entries. So let's just say 3 and let's just take 1 and let's go back to 2. Great. Also we can delete the cells because it was our last line of code. In this code, I use the sample function to randomly select two rows from our data frame. It's great for when you are looking to create a random subset of your data for testing or exploration. Actually, it's not good for working with small data groups like we have 4 rows here, but if you're working with big data, the sampling is really good. That was all for our video. Those were 5 lesser known but incredibly useful functions in Pandas. Learning to use these effectively can save you a lot of time and effort in your data manipulation tasks. Thanks for watching my video. I'm creating content about data science and programming. You can subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this. Have a great day.